The market bounces as expected toward our B wave target. But is this still a bounce or is it turning into a rally? Find out next on Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so as expected today, the market bounced about 40 points toward our B wave target, and I was noting that the structure actually looked pretty strong on the bounce. After that, one of our talented traders noted that the implied volatility was falling after the Fed meeting and turning into a more positive gamma stance. This is generally a bullish sign. So does that mean we've switched to rally mode? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. Okay, guys, so there's a few things that happened today that shifted my stance, not necessarily out of a B wave, but into a stronger rally B wave that might go a little higher than anticipated and also turn into a wave 3 and a rally. So this is best seen on the charts. Let's jump in and take a look. Okay, guys, here we are on the 1 hour chart. And I was asked by one of our members to kind of do an overview of where we're at in the big picture. And so what we're looking at is we had our big wave 1 back here in February down to big wave 2. And then we had wave 1 of 3. Okay, then wave 2 of 3 back here in March. And since then, we've been marching up in wave 3 of 3. Now, since this fall, we're expecting wave 4 of 3 to complete down here in this 4,200 to 4,270 range, just depending on how this all plays out. But that's, the next wave we're looking for. And then we would look for our wave 5 of 3 to complete sometime, I think, around the end of the year to the start of the new year, up here around the 4,900 range, which would complete the bigger wave 3. After that, we should see a very severe drop in a larger wave 4. And then from there, we will start to assess what the market does. Because if I'm off by 1 degree, this could be the top of the market. If not, we will start a bigger wave 5 of 5 up towards 6,000, and that is where we believe the market will top. So that's where we are in the big picture. Okay, again, we're building wave 3 of 3. I'm sorry, we've built wave 3 of 3, and now we are trying to play out wave 4 down. Now, some of the things that caught my eye today were the structure off the bottom. So we got a nice, strong bounce here, then a pullback, and we're getting a nice strong bounce that took out this high. Now, this is not uncommon for a B wave. You get an ABC move. However, it is a fairly straightforward move, which is a little bit uncommon for a B wave. B waves tend to be very choppy and all over the place, and this one has been pretty straightforward. And generally, that's kind of a bullish setup. Now, it has to follow through and it has to hit certain targets, but the fact that it's a pretty straightforward move up is encouraging for the bulls. The second thing is the 1 hour MACD, and that's the other reason we're on the 1 hour chart. So the MACD on the 1 hour is what I use to kind of find support when we need it for bottoms. And you'll notice that down here on the MACD, okay, when we break this 20, it's hard to see down here, when we break this negative 20 down here, or get down to negative 20 on the 1 hour MACD, okay, that has proven to be a strong rally point in the past. So you can see we rallied off of it here, and we're starting a rally up. Over here, we rallied almost 200 points from this area where it hit the negative 20 from here on up. Back here, it just barely touched the negative 20. We got a small rally. But anytime it moves down through that negative 20, as we scroll back here, we'll see a few more. Okay. Down here in the negative 20s, we get a big rally, and we get a big rally. So those are all 200-point plus rallies off of that support on the MACD. So this MACD being down below into the support range, with the straightforward structure and the implied volatility falling, tells us that there could be a more bullish scenario playing out. I'm not necessarily sure it's a third wave, but I do think it could be a bigger B wave than we anticipated. So what that means is a couple of different options. It is possible that we have seen A, B, C of B up to where I said yesterday in that 44.23 range. That is possible that this could be all of B. But we had a 12-day correction, so I find it hard to believe that in a 2-day trading period, we're going to just be done with the B wave. So I'm starting to lean more toward this being A, B, C of A up, then you get a B wave down, and then you get a C wave up toward the 4485 region, which would make a lot more sense given the size of wave A. You would want a much more proportional B wave than we have gotten so far. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, is this being a move up to 4423 to 4440 first, and then the pullback to right around 4369, and then a push up towards that 4485 range. Now, if it pushes through 4485, and you remember when I first talked about this B wave, we talked about 4485 being a target, but the first initial wave up was pretty small, so it didn't look like it was going to reach that target. So if it does get up to 4485 and push through, then we can start talking about it being wave 1 up and starting wave 5 sooner rather than later. However, if it does fail at that 4485 zone, okay, and starts back down, then it looks like we are going to come down in C, okay, to complete wave 4 down. That also lines up a little bit better with our anticipated targets down. We had talked about 4270 being a solid target. And yesterday when we talked about where A equals C would bring us if the B wave was going to end, it was going to be that 4165 region. And I was skeptical. I told you I would believe it when I see it because it just doesn't seem right. It seems too deep and doesn't seem like the setup that we're looking for. So for a lot of reasons, I think this B wave should go higher. We have strong support at the MACD. We have too small of a B wave structure here. We have a very straightforward bullish pattern set up here, okay? And also the implied volatility is falling, which is generally bullish because the less volatility, the more it favors the bulls. So that's kind of what we're looking at today, and that's why we entered a trade at the end of the day, because if this does turn into a wave 3, which we've seen many times, you see this fall down here, and then it comes up, and what you thought was going to be a B wave, and then it never gives you that C wave down and just keeps rallying up. We saw it here, where it never came down and gave you the C wave and kept rallying up. I can go back and show you this over and over again. It came down, never gave you a C wave, and rallied up. So we've seen lots of these things, lots of these pullbacks turn into wave 1, okay, 1, 2, and then 3 up, and then 4, 5 to complete 1. So until we get a failure up here and then the start down in C, this still looks fairly bullish. Now, because this is a corrective pullback instead of just a kind of blip on the radar, I do expect to see the C wave this time, but I also expect to see a higher B wave than we were anticipating yesterday based on the reasons I gave you today. Okay, guys, so that's really what we're watching to see what plays out today. We're looking for the market to move up again tomorrow, at least to that 4423 range to complete wave A of B. And then we should see a B wave down to that 4369 range and then back up towards 4485. But if it pushes through 4423 and doesn't stop, then there's a very solid chance we could be on our way to a much bigger wave here and the start of wave 1. Guys, if you like the information that I put out in this video and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to get in my Facebook group. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link and it will take you over to Facebook, okay? You have to get approved to get in my Facebook group, and the only thing I ask for that approval is that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So hit that subscribe button down below and then come on over to Facebook. Once you get in here, you hit this announcements tab right here, okay? Then you scroll down and you will see my Slack channel. This is just a free chat channel. Once you get into my Slack channel, I give out real-time market updates. I give out all of my buy alerts, my sell alerts. I answer all of your questions. And there's also an incredibly talented group of traders in there that are bouncing ideas off of each other from the very beginner to the very expert level of trading. It's a really awesome group. We would love to have you in there so we can make some money together. As a side note, I usually have my documented trades in here, but my Google Drive did not sync yesterday, and I forgot to load it today. So I will make sure I get that up there tomorrow. Okay, guys, key takeaways for today. We are watching to see how this pattern plays out. We are anticipating a bigger B wave than we originally thought, and the possibility of that to morph into a rally. Our first key level is 4423. Should we get to that level and fail, we would look for a pullback at that point towards 4369, and then a bounce higher towards that 4485 region to complete wave B. If it pushes through 4423, then we could be looking at a larger rally wave that gets wave 1 started towards that 4900 wave 5 target. That is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.